Imagine waking up in a quiet European town in the summer of 1518. The air is thick, the streets are silent. And then all of a sudden you almost hear the sound of rain falling, but that's not rain. That's someone's bare feet repeatedly smacking the ground in a disturbing way. One woman, dancing in the street alone. No music. No audience. Just purely unhinged cardio. At first, people laughed. Because obviously, she's just vibing, right? I mean, who hasn't had a little moment of public weirdness? But then, she doesn't stop. Not after a few hours. Not after a day. Not after 2 days. By day 3, her shoes have surrendered, her feet are already bleeding, and she still wouldn't stop. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dancing Plague of 1518, history's most confusing flash mob. The curtains open at Strasbourg, July 1518. I want you to picture a bustling medieval town. People trading goods, fearing witches, and dying of the plague. You know, just classic 16th century stuff. Our star of the show is Frau Trophia, a woman with either an incredibly catchy song stuck in her head, or one of history's strangest medical episodes. She starts dancing. At first people ignore her. Then they pity her, then they call the medieval version of 911, the church. And soon, it gets really bad. Wait a minute, did I just say bad? It goes beyond that because it actually got worse. Within a week, over 30 more people have joined her. Some are dancing in place. Some are spinning, others are even collapsing, no one can stop them. People begin collapsing from exhaustion, breaking bones, and even dying. Death by dancing. Sounds funny, right? But it isn't. Within a month, the number of afflicted swells to 400. Now here's the part where ancient medieval logic really shines. Doctors were summoned to assess the problem. And guess what was their conclusion? Yes. Did you guess right? Because according to the doctors, clearly there was too much hot blood in the body. The cure? Guess again. Well, hopefully you guessed right this time. The cure was more dancing. One doctor thought, hell yeah, let's build them a dancing stage and hire musicians. That should fix their mortal groove problem. And they actually did it. They built a stage in the town square and hired professional musicians to accompany the madness, because what this crisis needed was better sound design. Now you're probably thinking, what actually caused this? Well, let's investigate the theories. The first suspect is ergot poisoning. The most popular theory is that the townsfolk ate ergot-contaminated food. In case you are wondering what ergot is, it is a fungus that causes hallucinations, muscle spasms, and violent dancing. Sounds familiar? It's also the same fungus that likely played a part in the Salem witch trials. But the problem here is, ergot usually affects isolated individuals, not entire towns doing synchronized choreography. Also, ergot poisoning usually kills your muscles fast, so the idea that someone could dance for days doesn't quite hold up. Unless they were hallucinating an entire medieval rave. Suspect number 2. Mass hysteria, also known as group psychogenic disorder. Modern psychologists believe it was mass hysteria, triggered by stress, famine, plague, and religious fear. In short, life sucked so much, their brains said, you know what? Let's dance until we literally die. And honestly, given the options at the time, not the worst coping mechanism actually. Suspect no. 3. Supernatural theories. People back then believed it was a curse from Saint Vitus, the patron saint of epilepsy. The town even organized pilgrimages to a shrine dedicated to him. Some people eventually stopped dancing afterward, but probably because they were removed from the mob, not because an imaginary dance judge gave them a distinction for performance. By September, the dancing finally stopped, but hundreds were already dead, obviously. No one was happy. The stage was abandoned. The musicians packed up. And Frau Trophia, the woman who started all these, had vanished from history like a ghost. Strasbourg learned a valuable lesson. Maybe next time, don't treat a medical emergency like a street performance. They also started banning public dancing. Which seems kind of fair, to be honest. I know some of you are already wondering, could this same event ever happen again? Well, personally, I wouldn't rule out the possibility. You might think, humans have evolved and advanced since then, and that would never happen in our modern, rational world. But considering we already have TikTok challenges where people do a lot of crazy stuffs for views, I personally wouldn't rule out the possibility of someone dancing non-stop for hours. So, yeah. Don't be too confident. Psychologists even say mass hysteria still happens today. We have schools with mystery illnesses, sudden fainting spells at concerts, entire social media trends rooted in shared anxiety. Humans are social. And sometimes, very dumb, especially in groups. The only difference is that now we film it. The dancing plague became a footnote in history books. An absurd, terrifying glimpse into the fragility of the human mind. It inspired novels, operas, podcasts, and now this video. And while we laugh at it today, the truth is kind of sad. People were starving, dying, lost in fear. And their brains cracked in the most chaotic way possible. So next time you feel overwhelmed and your legs start tapping uncontrollably, maybe take a deep breath, or at least wait until the beat drops. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. What's the weirdest historical event you want us to turn into a nightmare bedtime story?